Well, we've made it to our next winery. As you turn into the property off the main highway, you can go left up to the wine tasting building or right to a special area for Harvest Host guests. Kristin Hill Winery has made 2 large areas of level gravel for Harvest Host guests to use, each with a grassy area and picnic table under 2 large oak trees at the base of one of their vineyard fields. Well, we settled in, and then I let both girls out for a while to stretch their legs and explore. Then I walked up the gravel driveway to the wine tasting room to see what they had to offer. They had a large number of wines to taste, since they own 3 different wineries. Their patio off the tasting room was comfortable and overlooked some of their lower vineyards. Here is a wine tasting sheet with sections from their 3 wineries. Pay no attention to that guy who seems to have already had way too many tastings. He is just a weary traveler ready for a nap. Instead, let's hear what the vineyard owner has to tell us about their many wines and vineyards.
Okay. Alrighty. So welcome to our winery. This is 3 wineries in one location. We have Kristin Hill Winery, we have Vintier Wine, and we have Purple Cow Vineyards. My husband and I own all 3. We've been making wine since 2006. Our Kristin Hill Winery was originally planted in 1985 by Eric and Linda Aberg. We purchased the property from them in 2017 and have continued their legacy and their winery using the same grapes that they planted. We have also, in addition, maintained our other 2 wineries, Purple Cow Vineyards and Vintier Wines. We make a wide selection of wines, whites, reds, pinks, blends, single varietals, and we have been doing this for so long I've forgotten what life outside of a winery looks like. We're smack in the middle of harvest right now. We have a couple more blocks to pick, and then we start bringing in some of the bigger reds. We also participate with Airbnb, Harvest Host, and Hip Camp to give folks a wider perspective on what our vineyard looks like throughout the year and what kind of experiences you can have here in Oregon, and hope you can make it out and come visit us sometime soon.
After listening to the vineyard owners talk about all their wines and tasting many different wines, I went back to the rig to play with the girls, and then we went on a walk up through the vineyards above where we were parked. Looking back, you can see where we are nestled under the grand old oaks, and going a little further up the hill, we can look over to the wine tasting room and patio. A little further up the hill, and my rig looks awful small, and the winery tasting room looks far away, but with a great view of the valley and the coastal mountains. But I'd better get back to my girls. They're probably wondering where Dad is. When I got back to the rig, I played with the girls. Before we knew it was time for dinner, and soon after that we were all ready for bed. Well, here we are, another morning, ready to move on to our next winery. We're getting ready to leave Kristin Hill Winery and head south down to Eola Hills Legacy Winery. Luckily, all these wineries are so plentiful, they're about 30 minutes or so apart from each other as we travel south through the Willamette Valley, which makes it great because then we can sleep in late, get up, have a couple cups of coffee, a nice leisurely breakfast, and head out and get down there a little after they've opened up at 11 a.m. or 12 noon. Then make camp, do our wine tasting early, and walk through the vineyards of the new place we're at. So this has been a very nice casual tour through the wineries so far, and we're continuing all the way down through the Willamette Valley into the Umpqua Valley, I believe, which is south of that, and then we'll cut across to the coast and we'll travel back up to the coast, going north to the only Harvest Host winery right now that is in Tillamook, and that is the Blue Heron Wine and Cheese Factory. It's what Tillamook Cheese Factory used to be way back in the 60s before it just got too big for its pants, in my opinion. So, I'm going to finish my second cup of coffee. By that time, it should be ready to take off and truck on down the road to our next exciting stop. You ready, girls? And they're just patiently waiting. They're such good travelers. I couldn't be luckier. Okay, Kate, you ready to go? Sarah, ready to go? All right, we'll see you guys down the road.